Morning, ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Now, it's been a little while since I have made a video on this certain tank. Yes, this tank that has actually been around for quite a few years, but it hasn't been around for a few years. Of course, we're talking about the MK1 HEAVY tank. Now, I think it was like 2 years ago, I made a video on the tank stating, will it ever come back? Now, those of you that haven't been around for that long, Wargaming brought this into the game for an event. It was an event that only lasted for about a week, and during that event you were able to earn this, or to get this tank. Everybody got this tank, and you was able to go and play it in random games. Now, when you played this tank in random games, you would only come up against this tank. So there were 7 of these versus 7 of these, and a lot of people actually wasn't that happy because it was only around for a week or 10 days or something like that. There was a lot of people that loved to chase aces, mastery badges, and after a couple of days of this event, this tank become very, very difficult to master, which then means when the tank got taken, they could not ever get an ace on this tank because they took it from your garage. It shows on your stats that you owned this tank. So a lot of my friends at the time, they would have like 98% or 99% ace rate, where say they owned 100 tanks, 99 of them was aced, 1 wasn't, and that 1 was this tank. So some people was annoyed because it means they're never going to be able to ace this tank unless Wargaming releases the event or the tank for some kind of event again. Now, Wargaming are never going to release this as part of a tier 1 tank because it is just way too strong. Way too strong for a tier 1 tank. Now, it's got no armor, literally no armor whatsoever. The DPM is 865. The reload time is 6.24. Penetration 57. I mean, the penetration, it means nothing because you only come up against this tank. So everybody could pen you. You could pen everybody. So you had a 90 alpha gun with 120 on your HE. Aim time was 4.2, so not great aim time, and the dispersion is 0.40. You've got 15 degrees of gun depression, and you had a top speed of just 25 kilometers per hour. So your hit points on the thing was very, very high. I mean, 550 hit points was almost double any, or just over double sometimes, of any other tier 1 tank. So I'm going to make this video for one reason, really, and we're going to talk about the tank and whether or not Wargaming are going to release this tank again. Now, unfortunately, I can't get into a random game because, as I've said, when Wargaming released this tank, they made it so you could only come up against this tank. So I can't join a game because it won't find any other person unless some people, other contributors, are playing it. But yeah, it looks, I mean, it is a real tank. It is one of the oldest tanks in the world when it comes to, especially when it comes to Great Britain, UK tanks. This is one of the oldest tanks in the world, and that is what Wargaming released this for. I think it was like the 100-year anniversary or something like that, and that was the reason that Wargaming released this tank. But before the video I'd done before, I took a friend, I think it was Fizzy, in a training room to see if he could actually beat me in any tier 1, and there was no chance. I just had too many hit points. Even though I wasn't a quick tank, it was quite slow, I just had way too many hit points, and my DPM was too good for any other tier 1 to deal with. But again, back then, when there was 7 of these versus 7 of these, it was hard. It was very hard because, like I said, everybody could pen you, and you could pen everybody. So it was a very difficult event, especially if you was trying to ace it. Now, luckily for me, I did ace the tank. I managed to ace it in just a few battles. So I don't have that worry. So Wargaming put this tank on our press accounts, and as soon as they put it on our press accounts, we were like, wait a minute, wait a minute, hold on. I've just got the Mark 1 Heavy on my press account. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that this tank is finally, after so many years, is the tank finally coming back for some kind of event? Or are they going to sell it as a premium or a collectible? Who knows? So, of course, we get in contact with Wargaming. No. The answer to that is, unfortunately, no. This tank, Wargaming still have no plans for to release this tank again. Now, what they did want us to do is they wanted us all to make videos, or as many YouTubers, contributors, or whatever, to make videos on the tank to see how the community reacts. Now, that for me only means one thing. If the community act really good towards the tank, and really it's you know, people want to see this, because most of you that are probably watching this video wouldn't have been around. You wouldn't have been around when this tank was released, so most of you would have never experienced this tank. So that's maybe what Wargaming want to see. They want to see how popular a video like this is going to be, and if it is extremely popular with me and other people that have got the tank on their press accounts, then who knows in the future? We never know. I myself, I'd love to see this tank come back as part of some kind of anniversary, or some kind of weekly event, or even to sell the tank outright. Now, of course, if they do sell the tank outright, they will have to make some small changes. They would have to make the DPM maybe a bit less. They'd have to make the hit points a little bit less. Of course, if they do sell it outright, they would have to change quite a few things. But, you know, I don't mind if they don't sell it outright, but, you know, it's been in the game once. It's been in the game just one time. That is it. That's it. So I'd like to see Wargaming release it, either, you know, just sell it, or to bring it in another event. I think people would want that, especially those that still play the game that have never ever aced the tank. But, you know, we never know. But when I speak to Wargaming, their current plans for this tank is that it isn't coming back. The current plans is that this tank is not coming back. They have no plans whatsoever to bring this tank back. So I'm going to say one thing. Come on, guys. Let's prove them wrong. Let's make Wargaming bring this tank back. And if you guys are watching, if this becomes, you know, a popular video, because my last video on this was actually my second or third top ever, the highest amount of views, with 120,000 views. So if you guys like this, if you guys want to see this back, put in the comments below. Put in the comment below, hashtag bring back Mark 1. Hashtag bring back the Mark 1, and let's make Wargaming bring this tank back. But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I'm meadsy69. Hopefully one day we will see this tank again, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy, and I will catch you all very soon. Bye bye.